Welcome to Brain vs. Heart. Topic of today. I've been in a friends with benefits situation for almost 3 years now. We stopped talking twice in these 3 years, and he was always the one to come back first. He's made it clear that he doesn't want me. How do I deal with unrequited love? Well, there's a very simple way to do this, and it's called transitioning. No, not gender-wise. Transitioning is usually something that works very well. It could be from going out and finding new hobbies, new friends, or a new partner. You're infatuated with this person. And I don't mean to sound insulting, but love is when you are willing to do everything that you can to make this person happy and to show them how happy they make you. Infatuation is when you stand to gain nothing out of that and you still keep pouring in all your love. Now you may ask the question, well, that doesn't make sense because parents do that all the time to their kids and their kids don't love them back. But the parents stand to get something out of it. Their seed is continuing. Your kids could do the worst things to you. But as a parent, your natural instinctive inclination is that your seed, your blood just continues to flow throughout the ether even when you're long gone. So your kid could do the worst things to you, curse you out, hit you, whatever, and you're sad because they're not contributing to society, yet your genes still live on. So you do biologically get something out of it as a parent. But as somebody who has no other connection to somebody else except for your emotions, it is quite illogical to be hung up on someone who's made it clear that they don't like you. Now, I'm not insensitive enough to say that you shouldn't feel anything for that person because unfortunately, those little fluttery feelings that you feel inside of your nether regions are just your emotions telling you to breed with this person that you have picked to carry on your lineage even though you don't actively think that's what you want. Quite simply, you have to override that infatuation, override those chemicals. And the way you do that is the same way that people coming off of hard drugs do. Sometimes when you're trying to get off of a drug or a certain medication, but you can't quit cold turkey, you start to transition by getting lower doses, or if you're trying to take another medication, you take lower medications of the ones you're trying to get off of and start to introduce the new medication. Anything that you try to do to help you wean yourself off of the thing you want to be weaned off of is transitioning. I'm sure there's another word for it, but I guess it's weaning. So how would you do this with a relationship? Quite simply, like I said in the beginning, find somebody else. Hang out with other people. You'd be surprised. There's a big wide world out there. And if you just find other friends or stop seeing that person, of course it's going to hurt. You're still going to be thinking about that person 24/7. You're going to cry. You're going to grieve. But if you start to fill that void with other people, you'll start to realize that that person wasn't all that in a bag of chips. And the people you start to hang around start to make you feel good, or the things you start to do start to make you feel good, and forget about that person until at some point in your life you realize, wow, why was I so infatuated with that person? Why did I waste my time? Trust me, I've been through it multiple times. Time still is in the equation because it is going to take some time for that to happen. However, if you're constantly in that person's vicinity, if they're constantly on your mind, which is very easy if you have nothing to do or nobody else to hang out with, it is going to be harder and take longer for you to get over that person. The next thing is do not stay friends with them. For the love of Christ, please do not stay friends with this person. It is very clear that the relationship is one-sided, and that person was nice enough to make that completely clear. So what you need to do is wean yourself off of this drug that's not doing anything for you but sucking all of your energy and time away without any profit. If the person says we can just stay friends, kindly decline or ignore them and go elsewhere. Remember the patterns that took place with that specific person, so you can recognize when someone does not return the same feelings as you, so you don't waste your time falling in love with them. You should always make sure that you are gradually falling in someone at the same rate they're gradually falling in love with you. That's what I did with my husband. I've been burned so many times that I am an expert in recognizing when people are about to burn me or I'm about to get burned. You can't leave your heart so open that your brain falls into it and drowns. You can start by talking to this person. Maybe they flirt with you, you flirt back, but don't give more than they give you. Or even if you initiate, you can initiate, but wait for them to return the favor. If you flirt back with them and they don't flirt back with you, leave it as it is. The ball is in their court. If they didn't throw it back, it means that they don't intend to give it back. They don't want you to have it. So just keep moving. Go to another court. Don't waste your time with that person. And sometimes you may really like that person and you have to just pretend like you don't. And you never know. You doing that may make the person realize that they actually want you. It's that weird thing with some human beings. When something is chasing them, they run. Because it's chasing them. All they see in their mind or emotional headspace is that this thing is running pell-mell at them, and the only thing that their primitive mind can think of to do in response is holy shit, run, something is chasing me, and it's not stopping or slowing down. I should probably fucking get out of here. Try it with horses, some wild horses, and see what happens if they don't run and chase you back. But if you walk forward and hold out your hand and do the whole emotional yay there, or whatever you do with horses, or, no one does that anymore. But you know what I mean. You give that person a chance to look at you and come closer. Of course, you're not physically doing this. I'm talking about if emotions could manifest as human beings doing actions, that's what it would look like. If they don't come any closer or they continue running away, you can continue to try, but at some point you have to cut it off. You can't let yourself fall too deep that you no longer recognize the signs.